All right, Capcom Unity. I'm Sean, or Snow. You guys know me. You've been watching me talk to you all day. But I'm here with our last, and I would say we've saved the best for last, actually, guest of the show.
I would say many would disagree with you, but I appreciate you saying it.
Well, you're my boss, so I suppose I have to say that.
Nice work, bud.
Right. So this is Seth. If you don't know Seth, I'm trying to get the everybody's favorite bearded hero to rub off, but I don't know if it's working yet.
You don't want my beard rubbing on anything, Sean. So it's I actually had the health department talk to me about that. No, yeah, I'm here making the rounds for Street Fighter Cross Tekken with a side salad of Third Strike, which needs no. That game sells itself. It's a really beautifully done, lovingly done, I think is the only word to say for it. And that's what makes me really proud of all of Capcom's fighting products is that they're crafted. Well, they're craftsman pieces.
Yeah.
At least mostly. We don't always get it right, but we really try. So
how's your E3 been? And then after that, tell us about Cross Tekken.
It's been crazy. So what have I been doing today? I was on, got off the IGN live this afternoon. I was on the IGN live stream, and then
doing G4 too, right?
Came back today, and then G4 has an amazing installation. So I went on. I was in the green room with the Biz, if you're familiar with the.
I am.
So it was exciting watching WWE All-Star right there in the flesh, and hanging out and eating some granola bars with him.
That's pretty awesome.
So that was cool. And after him went on the 501st. I don't know if you're familiar with the Stormtrooper Brigade.
Okay.
They're sort of like officially licensed by Lucas, I think, because of the faithful representation of Stormtroopers, but they're an actual division of Stormtroopers. I don't know too much about them, so I'm sure people out there on the stream know more than I do.
I did not know that there was an actual division of Stormtroopers.
Yeah, no, they're officially licensed, I guess, and everything, but they looked awesome. They came out there, and of course, my interviewer was Morgan Webb, it's hard to argue with Morgan. She's a delightful lady and actually really cool in person. So
awesome.
If you're wondering if she just seems nice on TV because it's her job, she's actually really great.
Very cool. So tell us about Street Fighter Cross Tekken. I know you've been talking about it all day, but not to us. So.
I've been watching this Kazuya tear people up.
Yeah, let me focus in on him.
All right. Bump up the jam here for Kazuya. Yeah, I like Mini Seth and Maximum Kazuya. So let me guess who he's gonna pick next. Oh no. Oh, there's Kazuya. And Ryu. Yeah, he's been just shredding people so far. So I don't know who we're watching, but we're lucky to have somebody great on the stream machine. It's been fun for me. We've had just sort of a stream of amazing players coming through the booth and checking it out. Earlier today, Justin Wong came by for the first time.
Really?
Said it's his new favorite game. I'm not even making that up. I think it's on camera somewhere.
Wow.
So that's a welcome endorsement. Again, Mike Ross came back. Said best game of all time. I think that might have been influenced by his 50-game win streak.
Something like that. I actually, you showed me he was on the stream a while ago. And I'm like, well, you know what? I got a few minutes. I'm going to go take a booth tour with everybody here. He was still on there. And I was like, is he lost?
I know the power of that. We saw Maximilian come by. We know him from the
Assist Me videos.
Assist Me videos with Dr. Doom and occasionally Wesker.
I think Wesker died.
Yeah, Clockwork. Well, there you go. Clockwork has been around the booth, and so many more. Guys from the Level Up crew came by here earlier today. The SRK guys, Keats and Ski Sonic have been in here downloading as much information as they possibly can from a build that will change before the next time they see it.
Right.
So I warned them. I was like, look, guys. But yeah, you see some Kazuya action here. People doing some regular chains as well as Tekken strings there. I think doing a little bit of experimenting.
So, we haven't really talked a whole lot about Cross Tekken. Ono-san was here a little bit, but we talked just about everything Street Fighter.
Cool.
What's new to this build versus what we first showed off at Captivate?
Yeah, Captivate, I gotta say, Captivate was not my favorite build to show off just because I didn't feel like it had what I always like to call juice. It was a little slower. The chains were a little stranger. And, there's this Kazuya combo. That's his moneymaker so far. Nice EX uppercut there. So what's changed in this build is just the overall speed, a little bit of polish, and also the implementation of the quick launchers. It's called the cross rush technique right now. And basically what that is if you do a chain that leads into a heart attack and then tap that heart attack a second time, it'll go from the regular heart attack into a special launcher move. And you'll see some of the some of the new, instead of the Sumier Ink style on the launcher attacks, some of the new Street Fighter Cross Tekken graphical style with sort of a water effect on the launcher. Their theme there being, again, oil and water, which is going to be implemented graphically more going forward.
Really?
At any rate,
Even more.
Yeah, they're going to be doing a lot of graphical adjustments to the game as we go forward. But yeah, you got those launchers make it much easier, and you can also tag cancel all of your specials and normals into all sorts of interesting ways. So now my overheads now work and things, or my overheads into unblockable finally work. All sorts of dirty tricks. I just think it's got a lot more juice, and even that, when you're close to something like this, it's hard to say like, oh, this is exactly the way I want. When I look at it, I feel like I see the things I want to be different ways and more and different. But I gotta say, the reaction has been just blowing me away. Everyone's been super positive. So I don't know if they're just trying to be nice to me or whatever, but there's a lot of people out there trying to be nice to me if that's the case. Because when something's not, people don't like something, they're like, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's interesting. The sort of the ways of dodging the question. But people have been, whatever. Obviously, Mike was out there for 20 hours or whatever he was on for. You don't do that out of politeness.
Right.
So,
yeah. So,
anyway.
I guess I really don't know what to ask you at this point.
Well, we can head to the stream, but
I was gonna say, if you guys watching have any questions you want to ask, go ahead and start asking now, and we'll be watching and pulling them as we.
And meanwhile, our third guest, the bottle of water, has been replaced by Christian Svensson, who will now have, the Capcom branded bottle of water.
Who will now have no mic.
No mic?
I turned you on this time.
Oh, I'm on this time.
Wow.
Yeah, last time I sat,
I was
here,
actually
I had no mic for 15 minutes, and I said a whole bunch of things. I shared all sorts of secrets that no one heard.
I knew it was going to be secret time, so I
Sorry.
just muted you.
Sorry.
As soon as I
guys.
walk out the door, I just shout the Mega Man 9 secrets into the air, but no one can really tell what's going on. It's a
No
noisy
one out
place.
there really knows.
Anyway, Cross Tekken, is Cole on PS3 version? Yes. Cole is on the PS3 version as well as the Vita. So part of the surprise with the PlayStation Vita was just that we had Cross Tekken running on it at all.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Cole also coming to the PlayStation 3.
Tell us about Cole. Like, what is he like?
He's pretty, can I say badass?
Yeah, you can say badass.
Okay, well, that's one of those dumb questions, right? You just said it.
Yes.
So can we say dumbass then? Because that was a dumbass. No, that's not okay.
That's okay.
I'm pushing it.
I'm gonna
No,
say,
I don't need to
I'm going to say if you can say it on TV, you can say it here.
All right, there we go. He's pretty cool. So right now, everybody's seeing, there are probably people out there who are playing Infamous 2 right now. But Cole McGrath just has a lot of amazing moves in that game. The Electric Tornado is one of my favorites. He's got a cool sort of fireball kind of thing, which you saw briefly in the video with the wall bounce. A bunch of other dirty tricks, a really nasty super. But right now, he's one of the newest characters to the game, so he's not even close to being finished as far as his development goes. But yeah, looking pretty good so far.
Yeah, what little we saw looked great.
Well, I'm glad people liked it.
Yeah. So here's a question that came up real quick. Are we going to be doing any more teaser trailers like we did with Cammy and Sagat and?
I don't know if we can really call those teasers.
Yeah, I don't think so. Is there a chance that we'll do trailers that are actually teasers?
They were like a regular picture, sort of cut up into a small puzzle that you might see in Highlights magazine.
We're not exactly subtle sometimes.
Yeah, we're not the most subtle tease.
Yeah.
But we may indeed see more things like that, maybe with an increased degree of subtlety. Christian, make it happen.
I'll get right on that.
What else is happening? Is Ken making an appearance? Ken is, well, I don't know. Someone has to pick him, but he's very much in the game. The Marvel vs. Capcom 3 DLC question for the 9,000th time. I got nothing for you on that front.
This is just something that of course has been coming up, and I'm not sure you guys can even answer it, but with the announcement of Cole on the PS3, the 360 fans are asking if there's anything for them.
Sorry, guys, there's nothing on that front to talk about.
Yeah.
That's That's pretty much it.
So they're also asking if you're going to be talking about Street Fighter 3 Third Strike Online Edition. Did I get it right?
We refuse. Street Fighter 3 Third Strike Fight for the Future Online Edition.
Wow.
I think we dropped Fight for the Future.
We dropped
Yeah, I
that.
think
That
we
one
did drop Fight for the Future.
Or SF3OE for short.
Yeah.
Okay.
SF3OE is definitely the internal.
So one of the big things that's been coming up, and we may or not be able to talk much about it, is the YouTube functionality. That's been hot in the chat and in our comments.
Good news.
So what's the deal?
I can throw this one over to Christian if he wants it, but I know we will have more details to share later. But
I'm trying to think, what have we shared? What are we... I mean, we've shared that there's YouTube functionality. We haven't described how it works or what.
no, I think we're sort of going to be talking about some of the details there later, but there's nothing really to worry about. You have YouTube you have YouTube upload functionality. You have a match, you want to put it on YouTube, there you go.
And
All
it's
right.
awesome.
Yes.
And I want to say more, but I'm going to hold off. There's cool ways to find content that you're looking for.
Yes, I think that's fair to say. So we got to save a little bit of juice. We wanted to come out of the gate strong with Third Strike and make sure people knew we had a very thoughtful and well-executed product. But we'll have a few surprises yet in store for that game, including, as people noticed during some of the select screens, there's a line in the menu options for downloadable content.
I wonder what that could be.
I don't know.
You know, it's
It's on the disc, guys. Sorry.
it's a mystery.
See what you did there.
See what I did there?
Yes. I did.
We didn't have
So
to.
sneaky.
I know. Too soon? Too soon.
I think
All
it was
right.
probably a little too soon.
All right.
I don't know why, but we're getting this question, I think, from the same person. How long did it take you to grow your beard?
This was actually 2 days of rage. Actually, I just sat there fuming. We had a bad build of Street Fighter, and I was so mad that I just sat there until the beard just forced itself out of my face, and maybe about 12 hours. So.
We're getting a question here during the gameplay. Who's the big guy in the background here?
Oh, that's for the internet to discover. Can we give a prize to whoever can figure that out? It's totally figurable outable.
All
I don't
right.
have a prize. I'm counting on you to have a prize.
I do have a prize.
There you go. Prize.
It's going to involve holding up a card, but yes.
Tekken
Ogre.
Force.
Is it Ogre?
Not Ogre. Well, I'm not going to answer. We're not going to answer the question right now. The internet has to prove who it is.
Ah, I see.
Has to prove who it is?
Well, they can provide visual evidence of who it is.
Okay.
If you know the answer, you can figure it out.
So please, tell us more about Street Fighter Cross Tekken. I know you've been talking a little
Cross
bit about
Tekken?
it.
I'm work better with general questions, but yeah, it's really.
I know it's
So it's Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition. It's I gotta focus on ultra combos, and supers, of course, are a big deal there. I gotta say they're a little bit less of a big deal right now in the game. We're working on a lot more creative ways to use your meter for some frankly more involved things. So you can still do sort of cinematic supers. They're only 2 bars. It's usually a one fireball or dragon punch kind of motion. You hit 3 buttons, but it's a single motion, so no more double pumping or anything like that.
Right.
And you can use your super for 2 bars, but I usually have more creative ways to use my super bar than just going for a super. Sometimes it's what you want to do for damage or position or opportunity there. There you see Kazuya attempting his command dash to reuse fireballs, and you got it once, and then has been failing it up here. But that's okay. Oh, no.
Nope.
Take it on the nose again. Hey!
There we go.
Yeah, that was actually
Hey.
a Wind God Fist. Went into the Wind God Fist. What were we talking about? Oh, meter management, things like that. So yeah, you can use that for supers, but they're frankly less of a. They're sort of somewhere in between supers and ultra. They work like supers in that they get build up primarily by you doing special moves and attacks, but they can also come out. They're not done as an ultra with a comeback mechanic kind of thing, where you build it solely for getting hit. But really what the best thing to use your super bar for is tag cancels, which is any move you hit, any special move you do, you can cancel it to bring in your opponent while your last move is executing. So this can be done very simply. You can do like a standing hard punch and cancel into your opponent, and if your spacing and timing is good, you may be able to actually continue a combo off just a simple standing hard attack. But it gets much more creative than that because you can do it off of your special moves, like say a hurricane kick and bring in your teammate while your hurricane kick is still hitting the opponent, and they're caught up in there. And of course, you can use that creatively to do high-low mix-ups. You can do it to do unblockables that are currently available in this build, all sorts of nasty stuff. So also, I really like using EX moves. You'll see, as we saw Ryu's EX uppercut there, have a lot of special properties, some invulnerabilities, things like that. So EX moves are particularly juicy. And finally, your counters. Tekken characters particularly have a lot of really up-close, strong up-close pressure. And if you're able to use your meter as a breaker, it's not a combo breaker, but if you're in block stun, you can use it like an alpha counter. And you'll come out with a launcher attack. You'll interrupt your block stun to come out with a launcher attack. But it's not guaranteed. It's totally not invulnerable or anything like that. So if you try and alpha counter through a very tight block string or a very quick series of chains, you won't be able to do it. So you have to pick your shots with those, but those can be very important. I know, he definitely should have had that uppercut. He's the wrong one. You're looking good here. Somebody's putting in the time.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Did you talk about charge moves at all?
Charge moves, they still work, but again, what I could add about charge moves, they're still in there. Like Guile Super is now just Sonic Boom with all 3 buttons. So for anybody that's ever struggled with Sonic Hurricane before, now it's just a regular Sonic Boom with all 3 buttons. But you can start charging, from the moment you hit tag, you can charge immediately as you're coming on the screen, and that's done by design. So by the time your character gets on screen, or your charge character comes on screen from some other character's tag cancel, you will definitely have enough time to have charged up whatever special you want to do.
The other part of the charging is some of the, so for example, if you want to charge Guile's Sonic Boom, you can charge that up to full, and then it sort of becomes a meter-free super.
Yeah, so basically every character in the game right now has a special that they can implement. Basically, you do the motion just as you would, but you hold down the button you use to execute the move, and the move will power up. First, it is sort of an EX state. First, I mean, if you release the button normally, it's just a regular Sonic Boom. If you hold it down a little longer, you get an EX Boom. And if you hold it down for about 3.5 seconds, you'll execute the super just like that. So you really, even if you find hitting all 3 buttons challenging or whatever, this is a really easy way for anybody that just wants to be able to do those special moves to execute them. But it won't really affect competitive play at all, because if you get hit by a super that someone did by standing there for 3 minutes or for 3.5 seconds while you watch them visibly charging it up, you kind of had that coming.
It takes a long time to actually.
You need to go back to the drawing board. It's quite a long period to fire that off. And it also doesn't require any meter. So again, just for people that want to understand how the supers work and be able to execute them in a new, easy way, you can do that, but you don't have to worry about that affecting any sort of serious competitive play.
Somebody's asking if we've seen any work on Tekken Cross Street Fighter. I haven't. Have you?
I actually have, but it's very, very limited, and it's not super recent. So, you know, if Namco is anything like us, they've got a limited amount of fighting teams available for any one project.
Right.
So obviously they've been very busy with some recent fighting game announcements of their own. So I think those have got to be, getting those out the door has to be probably their new priority, or their current priority, before they start thinking about like a cross Tekken.
So one of the questions I went by a little bit earlier, someone had asked what kind of modes are in Street Fighter Cross Tekken. So are we going to see anything like any 1v1 versus the tag team style?
We haven't really discussed that yet, but obviously those would be definitely interesting ideas. Sorry to give the generic answer, but
all I do is ask.
I know.
I can ask you anything, but I don't know if you can answer.
Well,
anything.
I know, and that's the way. That's the gig sometimes. So we aim to please. I'll say that.
Yep.
With some exciting modes.
All right, I'm looking for. Looks like people are requesting characters constantly for you to see.
Devil Jin, you see a little bit of Devil Kazuya when he goes into his super, but this guy's he's got a magical Kazuya combo that he's been using the whole game, so I don't think he's interested in saving his meter for super. Oh, smart throw! I actually thought he was going to attack there. Good stuff.
This is a crafty question here. Are you allowed to say any disconfirmed characters?
I don't
No.
know. You give us the character, and maybe we'll.
No.
I don't know if we should
Sven
play
says
this
no.
game.
No.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't think we should play this
No, this
game.
is the way the internet has baited many of our producers in
Yes.
the past.
I think we got in trouble at
The
Comic-Con
massive
last year.
disconfirmation game. They're like, what about this guy?
Which then sets up the eternal controversy of, I mean, just wait and see, guys. I know characters are really important to you, but we have still a good long way before this game comes to market, and we have a series of reveals that we will make over time.
Yeah, we've got a great character lineup. It's going to be a really big roster.
Yep.
Still working on trying to make that as big as it possibly can be right now. But we've already got a lot of the favorites that you expect from both series. But we want to get not only some favorites but also some surprises in there as well. And I think we'll actually have a pretty surprising character to announce before too long. So in the pretty near future. So stay tuned for someone you might not be expecting.
So
We're full of surprises in this game. Full
Yeah.
of them.
Oh yeah. No, this is it's a tricky one. You got to keep your eye on the ball with Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
there's one last question. Hopefully it's a little quick. I think Christian mentioned a little bit earlier, but we got a new stick here. Can we talk any about it?
Sure. Yeah, it's put together by the good people over at Mad Cats. It's just a prototype at this point, but it works great, feels great. Got a new case. It's sort of a marriage of the, if you'll remember, the smaller version of the TE stick, standard edition, if you will. It's got a larger case than the standard edition, but that same sort of like angled front panel, as well as the same great innards that you get on a tournament edition stick with all the Sanwa parts. And a little more space on the left side of the stick than you had previously, but it's really nicely laid out.
The other stick that we have here is a custom Capcom stick.
Indeed.
Which we have. You cannot buy these. They are Capcom special, just for us.
Neener.
Yep.
All right.
And
Well,
they say Capcom. Yeah.
I think
And-
it's about that time.
Yeah. We're getting kicked out.
Time to suck a lime?
The loudspeaker, the disconnected voice from
The E3 GLaDOS.
Yes. Although this was a guy. This
Was it a guy?
It was a guy this time. This is
I'm not
definitely
even
not
paying attention.
GLaDOS.
Kind of guy-like.
Yeah. All right, well, whatever.
Anyway,
Ambiguous.
so thank you for tuning in today, and we're really glad you guys watched the entire show. I'm sure most of you are probably sick of seeing me, but I promise tomorrow there will be less of me and more cool interviews with.
Send this guy your well wishes because he's killing himself in here for you guys.
He is.
You see him slowly dying in here. So give it a shout out to Sean. Drop him a line on Unity.
They throw food over for me.
Yeah.
So I
They throw food over the wall into his little fishbowl here.
Speaking of which, I haven't eaten yet today. Anything.
Yeah, I know.
Nothing.
I've had granola bars all day. So yeah, it's been a rough road, but Sean's been really working hard for everybody out there on the internet that isn't able to join us here, and hopefully provide you some good stuff. So thanks to Sean, thanks to all of you for tuning in and hanging out with us, and we'll do our best to get to as many of the questions as we didn't get to, and hang in there with us for the stuff that we can't talk about just yet, but we've got really good news coming in the future.
Yep, definitely. So don't
Very
forget to tune
excited.
in tomorrow. We're going to have all sorts of other good things going on. And just because it's the last day doesn't mean we don't have a few more things to show you. So stay tuned. We'll be back tomorrow.